Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel for this episode 24 here on New Frontier with me, Farmer Murphy. Well, it is June 2nd, so we've jumped ahead a little bit. It is 10 o'clock in the morning. You can see it's already 26 degrees. Pretty nice day here on the farm. And our money is dipped below the $11 million mark. So, Farmer Murphy's been shopping. We're up here at Grandma and Grandpa's place, and behind me you can see where we spent some of the money. Grandma wanted some strawberries to use in her baking, so we put in a hydroponic greenhouse. Now, the reason for the hydroponic is it's low maintenance and easy for them to maintain. You can see it's a pretty good size one here, and it provides more than enough berries for what Grandma wanted for her bakery. So we're also doing some other produce that we can sell at the market, some peppers, some cabbage, tomatoes, that sort of thing. Now, we can cut through the yard here. Grandma and Grandpa aren't here right now. They've gone off to a convention in a very nice locale, so they're not around. Now, we have added some cattle to our cow pen. If we jump up on the hill here, or run up on the hill, I guess we should say, you can see there. We have 120 in each of the pens, a Limousin on the left and the Angus on the right. Now, I was saying I was going to take it up to 200, but I thought, well, we'd stop at 120 just to make sure we can handle the feed requirements. Now, we are going to do a little harvesting, and actually, Grandpa Walter had offered to cancel his trip so he could help with the harvest, but I told him, don't be ridiculous. It's actually only the one field, as you can see. I kind of thought our barley and canola would be ready at the same time, but it turns out they are not. So I said, I can handle this one field, no problem. Now, here's where I spent most of the rest of the money. Is I traded in our harvester for this top of the line case that came up used with only a few hours on it. It's only got 19 hours on it, so nearly new. It's a pretty big upgrade for the farm, but in situations like this, it's going to make things a little more convenient. Oops, sorry about the trees there. And I upgraded our header. This is like a 12.5 meter MacDon header. Now, this harvester would certainly handle a larger header, but I just didn't think at this time that we needed it. I thought that would be plenty big enough. And then I added a grain trailer specifically for this situation here, because this grain trailer will hold 2 hopper loads and our body job will hold 1, and I figured that would probably be enough to get us through this harvest, and eventually, of course, we're going to be able to use this grain trailer to sell product, or that's the plan anyways. We'll see how that works out. So let's jump in and get this beast fired up. Actually, let's make sure we got the straw swath on. Good thing we checked, because that is really important to us, because we are out of straw. Yesterday I put the last of our bales in for bedding. Whoops, better stop there. Don't want to be running over any crop if we can help it. Let's get swung around here, and I think we will use steering assist for this. So get onto the field here. Turn it on. Let's do, I think 2 headlands should be plenty. Looks good. Grab a line and go here. Yeah, so we are flat out of straw on the farm. Now, this straw, like for barley, wheat, those types of crops I wanted to use mostly for padding out our TMR. And the straw we're going to get from the soybean we're going to use for bedding. So this straw, once we get it baled up, we'll put it with our grass in our large bale shelter, and then the soybean straw will go up in that older original bale storage shed. So that's how we'll keep it segregated. But unfortunately, we're going to have to use some of this for bedding. No choice, because like I said, that's the only straw we're going to have until the soybean's ready. Now, once we get this harvest done, we are going to sell our first cattle. So that will be exciting. Our first revenue from livestock, directly, I guess you should say. So I'm looking forward to that. And really, that's the challenge now, is for us to get the farm so it is a revenue generator on its own. Because, you know, we, of course, all summer long get the benefit of the money from the logging. Whoops. I'm going to back up here just a bit. I was a little too slow on grabbing that one. There we go. And of course we need to go forward. Classic Farmer Murphy right there. Yeah, so I mean, a lot of revenue is coming from that. We are getting some revenue from our dairy, of course, and a little bit comes in from Grandmother's Bakery. But like I said, the bakery have no intention of keeping that running full time. We'll take a load of grain in and let it do its thing. But we are not going to, once that's been processed, we are not going to top it up in the month. We'll just kind of limit it to a load a month. I think the dairy, or sorry, I should say the bakery, will process all of that easily in a month. We'll have to keep our eye on that. But anyways, that is my intention. And we're going to, at some point, want to run every type of grain through there. So that means we need, of course, like I said, a rice field, because it can make rice flour and rice bread and rice cake. Now, Grandma has started to make cakes, but we are not, and likely will never be 100% self-sufficient on that. We are having to buy our sugar, which is fine. I mean, not every production can be 100% self-reliant. You know, farm production, I guess I should. Did I miss did it get off? It does not seem like that's on the line, does it? Let's back up here. Back onto the field. I am not seeing a line. I wonder if oops, that's the wrong button. See, it looks like it's trying to steer, but it's definitely not in the right direction. Huh, I've never come across this before. Let's take a look. Oh, that edge looks fine. Okay. Alright, well, I'll do this edge by hand, and maybe the next, it's just really strange. Lower down, there we go. I think we can manage. Interesting. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh yes. So we're having to buy in sugar, and I have no intention of making sugar. I mean, what I was trying to say is, if you're running a small cottage industry on your farm, yes, wanted to be self-sufficient, but sometimes it's not impossible. You need to buy in something to complete your product. So in our case, it's sugar. Long story, even longer, thanks to steering assist here. Actually, I'm going to stop and see if it grabs one there. Curious. Huh. Obviously not. Okay. Something funny going on there. And speaking of buying in products, we had to buy in some mineral feed. As it turns out, our production cannot keep up with the demands for mineral feed that is required by our silage, or our TMR mixing, I should say. And it's not a supply issue, like it didn't run out of any products to make TMR. It's simply, it's just not. Oh, look at that. See, now it shows that line going down there. Huh. That's a puzzler. All right. Oh, you know what? That little piece there will drive me crazy. So we'll always have to buy a certain amount of mineral feed in to supplement what our production is making. We'll never be self-sufficient in there, but it's nice to know that we're reducing our costs by somewhat, and we're using our own crops to do it. And oh, look how full we are. Now, I was thinking we'd get all the way around to the trucks and empty out, that we wouldn't get 20,000 liters off the headland, but it looks like, boy, that's going to be close. What do you think, guys? Are we going to have a typical Farmer Murphy situation here? Might make her. Or not. Oh no. Now, it'd be pretty hard to get much closer than that and not make it. Look at that. Well, you're well used to that if you've been around Farmer Murphy's channel. That is the Murphy way right there. We'll just drive around to the truck. We're so close, we won't bother bringing the truck to us because we'd have to get out and hoof it. So we'll stay driving. Ooh, that's a long pipe. I suppose the next thing, I've got the trucks too close to the field. I don't want to remove any crop here. Are we going to make it? We'll start filling from the back and work our way ahead here. Ooh, we made her. Well, that's a good thing, I guess. I'm not complaining, but I'm kind of surprised with that large hopper we didn't make it all the way around, but you know what? I'll take it. We use barley for the pigs, barley for the chickens, and barley in the bakery, so we got a lot of uses for barley. There we go. Now, go back to where we were here. Now, is that little piece, can our header pick that all up, or do we need to go? Oh, of course not. Yeah. Why would I even think? Yes, sir. So we know how much is left. We got a 12.5 meter header, and we got 13 meters left thereabouts. Something like that. Yeah, right. Not a problem. Okay. Couple lines there, so let's lower this down. Make sure we get the headland one here. We'll just go. Farmer Murphy's taking no chances. Yeah, that should be the one there. We should be good. There we go. So, did I mention that the grass will be ready to mow next month? I can't remember if I did or not. I had intended to, but we've had a few little difficulties, shall we say, to deal with. But our grass will be ready to mow next month. Now, I don't know. What I might do is the canola should be ready next month as well. I think I'll just deal with that off camera. I'll just let you know how many bales we ended up with off of there. I'm hoping that it's going to be near the 100 mark. We're down to we're under 200 bales left. And what we were sitting at 270, something like that. So we've gone through a fair number. I would like to be able to sell some silage to again get some farm revenue coming in. But we kind of got to, just get things lined out, so to speak, so we know how much we need for our cattle, and we certainly don't want to run short of feed, and we are nowhere near. I'm hoping we're nowhere near what the capacity is that we can handle. Oh, and speaking of which, interesting thing. Yesterday morning I came in and our TMR production was full, so fantastic. So I distributed that 45,000 liters basically out, and then I was doing other chores on the farm, and it was about 1 o'clock-ish, I would say. And our TMR production was full again. So I had in my head, hey, it takes about 4 hours and we can make a full mix. So that's great. And then did a few other things and determined that the rain was going to stop in time for us to harvest. So then I decided I would just sleep through the night, which I did. And so I was expecting easily to have a full production when I came in this morning. And no, it was not full. It was only about half full. So I wonder if that production treats when you're sleeping different than when you're on the when you're actually on the farm. Because I was shocked we weren't short of any materials. Oh, look at this, and see that? That is weird. I've never seen anything like that. Anyways, like I was saying, we weren't short of. Oh, thank you. So, anyways, I just don't know why it wasn't full. And actually, thinking of it, because I've been in on the map for more than 4 hours now. Let's take a look at our production here. Yeah, see, it's right full again. So I'll pay closer attention to that, but it seems like it. Yeah, another one. This is just another odd one there. Let's just put it that way, because I was really surprised it wasn't full when I came in this morning. But when we're on the map, it looks like it's going to fill up in 4 hours, so that's pretty sweet. I've just been building up, particularly in our two breeding pens, the TMR, and we're up to about 100 and close to 130,000 liters in each pen, I think, right now. Probably be a little less than that because the cows would have eaten some, obviously. Well, that is an odd one. Why it left. Interesting. We are not going to worry about it. We'll come and tidy that up. Now, I was at a conference, a farming conference here a few days ago, and was talking to some of the farmers, and they said that we could gain some yield if we actually went and swathed our crop rather than direct cut it. So that's something we might look into here in the future. Might look at swathing and giving that a try. Maybe next fall we'll do that. Go up this. Now I think this one should take a little bit more. Wow, we are going to get a nice yield out of this. That's awesome. It's going to take a little experience to know how much barley we need to keep, how much wheat we need to keep, and what's available for us to sell off as a cash crop. Right, I think. Oh boy. Yeah, you know what? That's a little tough to see, especially with the header up like that. Maybe we'll just stick out a cab for now. A little better when the header's down. Yeah, she's a nice modern unit. And I actually got to run it first, not Grandpa Walter. It's a bit of a switch, isn't it? He usually gets to break in all the new stuff. I think what we'll do is we will just run back because we got to pick up this little piece here. And head her on up again. I know Homer wouldn't normally come back and pick up these little pieces, but just my way. Oh, I had mentioned that I would likely sell our sprayer and then lease a self-propelled. I did not do that. I had forgotten we'd upgraded our sprayer, and that cost us a fair bit to actually do that. So I just used our sprayer with our farm wall and did our spraying with it. So it's still on the farm. So there's been no change there. But I am toying with the idea of maybe sending the farm wall down the river because the that's the only job we do with it right now, and we could take the sensors off of it and put it on another tractor and do our spraying with it because we just aren't using it all that much. And the I guess the other thing we did with it, of course, is we fed the pigs and the chickens, but we could use our old International for that. But our old International is got more horsepower, and we need it to. It's not missing a piece. No, it's not. We need it to look after the cows. That's how we're feeding the TMR. We're using our carrot trailer and the old International to do it. It does a pretty good job of that. And we use it for straw blowing as well. Now, I wonder if we're in cab here, does it say what our fill rate? Uh, It does say what our fill is, so we can actually get rid of the HUD here. It's small, but it is there. Oh, shit. I keep forgetting that. Can't get rid of the HUD because we need it for our lines. I guess we could. Let's try it without. We can probably manage without it actually. Get close enough. Just 1 second. No, just coincidence. The number I was looking at, it wasn't the fill. Uh, I don't think that one updates. No, no, it's not like the John Deere one. It doesn't. You can't see the fill rate on the fill percentage on the monitor. Oh, let's leave the HUD on. I don't know where we're at. It's just coincidence. I was looking at that. I don't know. It's probably depending on what you're watching on. It might be a little small, but it was like it's like 52, 53. They're kind of on the left edge, right in the middle. We were about 53% full, so I thought that was it. Another Farmer Murphy mistake. I think we could. Well, chance that we can do one more here. Now we will expand these fields for the next crop. I think that is it August? I think we can put it back in here. Let's look at the crop calendar here again, refresh my memory. September. Oh, so we got lots of time to get that done. But I'll plow it out so they're expanded. And I'll probably we'll take a look at the size of the fields. We might swap the barley and the canola if the fields are about the same size, just so we got a bit of crop rotation going. Oh, shoot, we're full. Well, so much for making it. I thought we'd make her to the other end. But I am not complaining. Like I said, we can put all of this barley to good use. Oh, that's way too close, Farmer Murphy. You gotta be over here, my friend. Top on this one up. So that's 40,000 liters in that truck. And this is just over 22,000 liters this truck holds. So it'll hold or take a little bit more after this, but then that'll be it. Then I'll need to jump out, do some driving, and put a pause on the harvester. I might need to look at doing a bale extension sooner rather, or bale extension. Come on, Farmer Murphy. A silo extension sooner rather than later. Things were here, we might as well tidy this up. Oh, and speaking of silo extensions, I think we're going to need to do something for slurry too at some point, because our production is not going to be able to keep up. And that's going to be the same case with manure. So we could either spread manure and slurry on our grass field in particular is where I'd like to use it, or we could look at investing in a small BGA and process it through there and just spread digestate. And then of course have the benefit of that additional income. So something I'm kind of thinking about. We'll have to look and see what it would cost us to add that capability to the farm. But then the other issue is, where the heck do we put a BGA? Initially, I really wasn't thinking about doing that, but I think it just makes sense with the amount of manure and slurry we're going to have, because then we could just spread with a, one spreader type. We just need a slurry spreader to spread the digestate and use that rather than have a manure spreader and a slurry spreader. But then of course you got to look at the cost of what is a biogas plant going to cost us. Can't imagine they're cheap. We'll have more than 80,000 liters off of this field. Well, that's pretty nice. So we have 60 between the two trucks, and we'll have another. This will be full again. So we'll take it. Oh, and I learned something too. I learned that you can put carrots, and I imagine the other root crops, directly into the pig's trough. I've never actually tried it before. And I was saying it would be nice to be able to feed the pigs, um, the new crops. Actually, you can. There just wasn't mixers out there that used it, but I needed to add some more root crop, and I had a little carrot left over from dumping it in the production to start making pig food. So I thought I'm going to try it, and by golly, it worked. So you can use them to feed if you dump it directly into their trough. No problem at all. I don't get to watch as much Farming Simulator as I used to, and I used to get a lot of information that way. So I'm sometimes a little behind the times, unfortunately. I'm more in a learn as you go on your own mode than I am learn from others. Unfortunately, right now, just because of time constraints. Ooh, I had a hard time getting that one out. Well, I think when this harvester's full, you know what? I better leave you there because we've been harvesting for a while, and I've been nattering for a while, and like I said, I do want to sell some cows, so we might leave the harvesting at this point and go and sell some cows before we run out of time. And she is a pretty nice unit. The next header up from this was like 15 meters in the case, and I just thought, holy mackerel, we just don't need to go there just yet. And like I said, if we do swathing, of course it can't swath all the crops, so we'll probably still need a direct cut header for some of them. And obviously we'll need a corn header. On the go here, let's get rid of that for a little bit. Now I actually do have a mod in that stops the harvester as soon as it's full, because Farmer Murphy has run over enough crop in his lifetime. As you can tell, talking and doing just about anything is a challenge. So I really don't need to worry about that. And seeing where the hopper fill is at. But it's not that realistic, I know. This should be the last pass. And we'll be full again. Oh yeah, we're at 80% because we've got beacons going there. How do we swing around and take a look from directly head on here? There we go. So let's shut her down there. And we'll run over here and we will empty the big green truck. because that's the truck we need to use to sell the cows. Now we should be able to get turned around here, I would think. Oh, I don't know if I showed you this, but I put this little, that's a silo actually, just used for seed and lime and that sort of thing. I'm not sure if I'm real happy with that location, but it, it does work. Yes, sir, where you are unloading. And I'm not sure if I'll put a shed in that's big enough to hold those items you see sitting on the hill, or I might just leave them sit outside. I mean, it's not unusual to see air drills sitting around outside in my neck of the woods because they are so big. It takes a pretty big building to put those in. Now, we'll just pull this up onto the flat here. Or where it's a little flatter anyways. And we are going to unattach it. And we're going to make a trade. There we go. Now I think the easiest thing is for us to head down and do a U-turn here in the yard. Now I haven't checked the time. I'm just but this has been like a continuous, almost like a stream. Don't normally do that. I haven't jumped out to look at what the time is, so if it's long or short, it's going to be what it's going to be. But I don't, I'm kind of thinking it's not going to be short. It was the other end for this one, wasn't it? Down here. I realized when I was editing the video where we bought the cattle, I realized I backed all the way up the hill and I could have just gone around. I realized when I was editing, what the heck did you do that for, Farmer Murphy? And I could have just, I purposely made it so we could go around and I didn't bother. All right, that should be, yes. No. Oh, yeah. No. Oh, the calves are on top. That's what threw me off. What we want here is these ones here. We're going to sell because they've had their calves and they're starting to decline in value. So we're going to sell those. And there were some. Now, these 20-month-olds, we haven't moved them to the finishing pens, but I just wanted to make it worthwhile, the trip. And it's between 20 and 24 months that we're going to sell them. So we have another batch of 20-month-olds. So we're going to sell these 5 just to give us a little income. And so we're not making a trip down to the animal market for just 5 animals. So let's go in cab here. Let's go forward. And let's be a little smarter about it this time and just drive around here rather than backing up the hill like I did last time. Oh, goodness. But what we are going to do is we are going to replace these 10 with 5 cow-calf pairs. But once they have their last calves after their 30 months, beyond 30 months, that's when we're going to sell the mature cows, and we'll go and replace them with young cows again. And we definitely don't, we got to get out of the habit of keeping everything as breeding stock. We do want to increase the herd, but like I said, we got to get some income from the animals, because that is where I want to make the majority of the money in the future. Or that's what I'm aiming for anyways. But we either got to breed them ourselves or buy them. I mean, that's our only options. Sorry, got a dog carrying on in the background here, so might have to mute you a bit. So this should net us $25,000, but like I said, we'll just turn around and buy some more cows. But we should come out ahead on the deal. I'm thinking. Oh, those darn crops. But I got plans for those fields. Like, I painted them in, like I said, but the map just took them back over again. Well, busy day down here at the market. Now, hopefully, this works as good this time as it did last time, that I don't have to fight with the trigger. Oh, you know what? I'm going to turn the HUD on so we can see what we get for these guys. Awesome. So it must be just that other trailer. So we are going to sell those for 12,000. And we are going to sell those for 14,000. And we are going to buy... Oh, no. 5 of those for 1,500. And 5 of those for 11. So, yeah, we got a little over 25 and spent about half of it to replace them. All right. Well, I think I will leave you there. Now, I don't think I'll bring you in for the canola harvest and the grass harvest. I will bring you in when some of our new crops are ready to go, So that's when I'll see you next. Likely we'll have Grandpa Walter helping us out with those harvests. But I will keep track of what our final barley number is, and of course what we get for canola, and any other shenanigans that go on. We'll see where we're at that point. But if you're still with me, I really appreciate you watching. If you haven't already, I encourage you to hit that like and subscribe button. And if you want to see when other content like this lands, hit that old notification bell. But for this episode, here on New Frontier, it's Farmer Murphy signing off.